Hi, Paul here from Results Personal Training, and today I just want to bring you a quick video on wrists and wrist pain. So if you've got wrist pain, the first thing you need to do is go to your local practitioner, and that is your physio, your osteo, your chiro, whoever it is that you go and see when you're in pain. Now, I'm going to make a couple of assumptions. Based on their evaluation, we're going to say that you might have a bit of wrist impingement, or certainly the joints are tight or fixated between the radius, the ulna, and the carpals. That's the hand bone itself. Now, what are we going to do about it? So the big thing is we need to avoid any further pain, and that is any compression through the wrist. So your big things are you're going to avoid doing push-ups, because if you imagine the gravity and your body weight is going to be compressing down on that wrist joint, and it's going to make it pretty unhappy. The other thing that's worth avoiding are front squats. Again, if your wrists are jammed back and that bar's loaded and pushing down on your wrists, that's probably going to cause pain, and we want to avoid pain as much as we can. Now, in avoiding pain, we don't want to stop mobilizing the wrist joint. Often, wrists will get very tight and unhappy when there's some kind of impingement or there's some kind of pain there. There might be some soft tissue injury or some scar tissue that needs to be dealt with. So we need to go and find that range of motion. So the first movement I'm going to get you to do is I'm going to get you to grab a band, and I'm going to get you to tie it up to whatever it is that you have available to you, and you're going to wrap it around your wrist. Then you're going to pull back on it, and you're going to create some tension. Now, as you can see, the force is pulling my wrist away, and that's just distracting the wrist joint itself. And I would want you to hold that wrist distraction for around 2 minutes. Just trying to imagine you're trying to open some space up. The second thing I want you to do is a distraction and mobilization. So again, you're going to grab your band, you're going to pull it over so you're getting some tension on it, as you can see from there. So once you've got some tensioning on it, you're then going to use the other hand to jam down the carpals, and then you're going to push that wrist forward. This band is pulling on both the ulna and the radius, pulling it back and opening up that space. So again, forward, and then we just want to push down and gently begin to mobilize that wrist joint into extension. The second thing I want you to do is move your shoulder, okay? So your shoulder and your hand are actually going to rotate and move around. Often a wrist injury stems from a tightness or an over internal rotation from the shoulder. So we want to start externally rotating and pushing forward, making sure we're staying pain-free within that movement. And then once we've done that, you're going to go over to a wall, and you're going to gently pop your arm onto the wall into wrist extension, and again, just roll around from the shoulder and just making some space in the wrist joint. And then the other way, you're going to go down onto that forearm, roll it round, see if you can find some spacing in there. A happy wrist in flexion should have around 70 to 90 degrees, and a happy wrist in extension should have around 65 to 85 degrees. I personally like about 90. If you aim for about 90 degrees on both, is a pretty happy spot. So that's your real key from there. Once you've done some mobilization and you've kept it in a space where it's free and it's not in pain, you'd certainly want to start looking at doing some soft tissue work for the forearms. So soft tissue work for the forearms, whatever it takes. For me, I like some instrument assisted work all down the forearm extensors and then down the forearm flexors, breaking up any scar tissue, any knots in there, particularly around this elbow can get quite gammy and some of the tissue can get quite tight, and work on that a little bit. Spend some time doing that. Again, big points. Find mobilization, but find it in a pain-free way, okay? Spend a bit of time with that, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and typically you've restored your wrists, okay? That's it, Paul Results Personal Training. Have a good day.